Hi there, students. Prose. Normally an uncountable noun. Okay, prose is written or spoken language, normally written, that is ordinary. It's not poetry. So, poetry is the opposite of prose. What do you prefer to read? Do you prefer to read prose or poetry? Nowadays, poetry isn't very popular, and most people read prose. Okay, so prose says something that's not poetic. Yeah, it's not in poetic language. It's in ordinary written language. So, Mary had a little lamb, it always was a grunting. This is poetry. This isn't prose because this rhymes. So poetry has this rhyme, it has this meter, whereas ordinary language is just the normal ways of talking, whereas poetry is different. So prose, ordinary speech, ordinary writing without a beat or without a metrical structure. Yes, when we speak it has intonation, your voice goes up and down, but it doesn't have the beat or the regular of poetry. Now, you could also use prose to talk about a commonplace, ordinary quality or an ordinary expression. So his writing is just prose. This is much less common. But notice from this we have the word prosaic, commonplace, hackneyed, every day. To prose as well as a verb, to speak or write in a boring way. But prose, ordinary speech. Now we actually have a pair of idioms with this. We have purple prose. Purple prose is very flowery language. It's elaborate, ornate language. It's still not poetry, but it's writing that it is using exaggerated sentiment. It's using too much pathos. It's trying to manipulate somebody's emotions, and this is purple prose. The newspaper went into described the event in purple prose, and interestingly, we have an opposite of purple prose, beige prose. Beige is a sort of brown colour, and beige prose talks about prose that is ordinary. It's short, it's brief, it's to the point, it's simple. So a simple description, beige prose, whereas purple prose in huge long flowery descriptions, flowery letters. So purple and beige prose, but prose. So prose is writing or speaking. Prose. It was a dark and stormy night, and the rain fell in torrents. Yeah, this is starting to get into purple prose though. Okay, so prose, just ordinary speech. I think in one of Moliere's plays somebody is asked to write something that's neither in verse nor in prose, and the guy says, but you can't, because these are two things are opposite. You either express yourself in prose or in verse, so either in poetry or in ordinary speech. So prose, written or spoken language in its ordinary form. A book is prose. So the prose of George Orwell is quite easy to read. Yeah, it's the ordinary language that people use when speaking or writing. It's distinguished from poetry. Yes, because it doesn't have this poetic rhythm. And then prose, boring, ordinary style, ordinary quality as well. So, prose, formality. I think I'm going to give it a 6 in formality. Use it in a semi-formal speaking, semi-formal or formal writing. And then as to origin, it comes from Latin. I think it comes from the word prosa, meaning prose. Prosa oratio, straightforward speech. Prosa, straightforward, ordinary. Prosaic, this word's coming from this. And oratio, so ordinary speech, straightforward speech, which I think very often is something that people ought to use. Legal texts do not use prosa oratio, straightforward speech. Anyway, prose, enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Prose, purple prose, beige prose.